everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video we're going to be doing this Operation Right Home sketch. You can pause here to get the measurements, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump on in. So for the card base, we're doing an A2 size card, and we're using the same Kaisercraft collection. I'm just showing you a few of the pages that I have left. There's not that many. I think I have like five. I think it's 5 sheets, full sheets, and then a lot of the scraps. For my base, I'm using this craft paper for my mats on all my pieces today. This one is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This is the main one for the larger pattern paper. And what I'm doing is, because I only have so many sheets left, I've taken a piece from a previous collection I have. You can see this tropical floral. It does not match anything that's in the Kaisercraft collection. However, the other side of it, which is this one, which has those muted blue tones, goes really well with the collection. So that's why I grabbed it. And it happened to be here on my desk from a previous project, and it worked. So now I'm just going to straighten up my edges on each of the pattern pieces that I've already pre-cut. And once we're done doing that, we're going to attach it to the craft pieces that we have cut for that. And the pattern paper, the measurements was 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So I just went 1/8 of an inch bigger for each of them. So the mat would then be 4 3/8 by 4 5/8. So it gets a little bit much, but you just go 1/8 of an inch bigger from what your pattern paper was to get your mat. Now, of course, in the middle of filming, I run out of my ATG tape. So I'm going to go ahead and get this peeled off. There was a little piece that wanted to stay stuck to my wheel there, but I'm just going to peel that off and then toss all that out. And I just have my little trash can right there on my desk. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I keep my extra ATG tape in one of those like photo boxes that you can get at any of the box stores like AC Moore or Michaels. And I keep the ones in plastic in there, and then I have a bunch that I have out from a previous purchase. And I kept them that way because I wanted to use up the ones I had first before I got into my new ones. And I always keep them. I have a little spot over here on my desk where I kind of keep my extra rolls out, so that way when something like when I run out during filming, I can just grab it real quick. I had just actually used my last one and didn't replenish, so that's why I had to go into the box. And then I'm just taking this piece and lifting it up just enough so that way I can start peeling off the tape and getting it wrapped around. And it does take some getting used to, because this is not the same ones that you get in the package at those same box stores, but it works and it's a little bit cheaper, but it holds just as well. So once I get it all hooked up, I'm gonna go ahead and attach this one straight to the card base. And I use the art glitter glue to give me a little bit of time for wiggling if I have to move it or adjust it. If you're able to get stuff on straight right away and you don't have any problems, then do you and have at it. Because let me tell you, there are days where I feel like I get it on and I'm perfect, and then there's times when I just feel like nothing is going straight. And those times, especially using the art glitter glue and the tape, it's a benefit because it allows me to be able to pull it apart and get it fixed, you know. So for the top pattern paper, I decided I wanted to put some fun foam behind it, and so it would give it added dimension. Now I'm cutting these little pieces off because I had some extra that was hanging out. And for these pieces, I saw, and I can't remember who it was who was using it, but I've been seeing a lot of the ladies using the score tape on the back of the fun foam, because sometimes it's hard to use the gun. It doesn't want to lay down, it doesn't want to stay. So I was like, well, let me try this score tape on the back, and let me tell you, it can be a little cumbersome. You definitely have to rub it in with your hands, and then the tape will lift up. But I'm okay with that, and it stays down because score tape is very, very strong. Okay, so, and then what it allows me to be able to do is, I'm just doing placement, trying to figure out where things are, and I realized that the very end there is just a little flap. But what it's doing is, this is adhesive back fun foam, right? And so by using the score tape, the side that doesn't have the adhesive, I can put down on the card. And then when I'm ready to place this piece on my card, all I have to do is take the backing off. I like to add a little bit of glue just to make sure that it definitely sticks and stays down, and we're good. So definitely using the score tape is 2 thumbs up as far as I'm concerned. If you've had problems or, dealing with that with the fun foam, that's what I would suggest. I think it works really, really well. And then I lay down this piece, and I'm going to take that little piece of score tape, I'm going to cut it, trim it down, so that way I have like basically 2 smaller pieces. And at first I was just going to glue the one side straight to the paper, and then take off the backing and attach the second piece, so that way it would have enough height. Okay. Here's the thing. Once I took off the second backing, I noticed that it's moving around, because it does take a little while for the wet glue to dry. But I decided, you know what? Let me take that piece off, because it's not laying right. And I'm going to put a little bit of the tape where I was trying to glue it, basically. So that way it would kind of adhere quicker. And then I just put a little bit of glue down on the top part, and we're gonna lay this so that way it's right there in the bottom corner. And then I'm gonna take some of the white Nuvo drops, and I'm gonna add 3 in the top corner, and then I'm gonna put 3 around where the sentiment is, and then 3 more in the upper right corner. So that way I end up with 9. And I'm going to call this done. I'm just going to tap it real quick on the top of my trash can, so that way it can flatten out and kind of look more like an actual enamel dot. This is the first one I did, and on this one I tried to do different sizes, and I still did 9 of the droplets, but I did them in different orders. Like I just have 2 in the upper right, and then I put 4 down at the bottom where the sentiment was. So it's just, you can play around with it, okay? There's no set pattern, there's no law about it. You got to do what makes you feel good about the card that you're making, okay? So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And if you have any comments, definitely leave it down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys with our next video. And have a great weekend.